Welcome to Retirement Key TV. I'm Mallory Hoff alongside David Wilkinson and our guest Abe Abish. Over the next half hour, we'll discuss planning for a successful retirement and why so many people in this country are missing the mark.
So here's what's in store. First, we'll talk about taxes. They could be the most critical part of your retirement, but get this, they're often overlooked. Then in 15 and 15, we'll talk about income, risk, and growth strategies, plus how to approach market volatility. That conversation and so much more ahead.
Pleased to be joined by Abe Abish, the president and founder of Abish Financial Services, a D.C. area firm that focuses on preparing people for a successful retirement. Abe is also the popular host of Retirement Key Radio. Abe, tell us about why tax planning is so critical when it comes to preparing for a truly successful retirement.
Well, tax planning is critical because taxes are probably going to be our biggest expense in retirement, right? So we can't just ignore taxes and sweep them under the rug. You know, a lot of advisor firms will say they do tax planning and then, you know, they just want your money. They just want to manage your investments. And some firms just don't even tackle taxes, right? But we want to address taxes head on because taxes could and probably will be our biggest expense in retirement. We're at the lowest tax rates we've had in the last 40 years, right? So if we can save our clients thousands, maybe tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars and save taxes, we want to do that, right? We want to look at that and really take a serious look at it.
All right, you made some attention-getting points right there. First off, that taxes could very well be a retiree's largest expense, and that there's the potential to save up to hundreds of thousands of dollars in retirement if you have a tax plan. Then why on earth is tax planning so often overlooked?
I think people just don't address it, right? I think it's education, perhaps misinformation, perhaps people thinking that they're going to be in a lower tax bracket when they retire. That's one of the biggest myths of retirement planning, I think, is that when we retire, we're going to be in a lower tax bracket. And for people in the D.C. area, a lot of people, that's just simply not true with pensions and Social Security. So if you have a TSP, a 401k, IRAs, and you've never paid taxes on these accounts, and taxes go up even by a few percent down the road, that's a few percent more in taxes you're going to pay to the government than, you know, having your own account. So we need to look at this and find ways to mitigate and lower tax as much as possible.
You mentioned it earlier, but I want to double down on how much you really stand to save if you do have a proper tax strategy.
You could save a lot. It could be thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. It may not be for everybody because some people could be bringing in very high incomes. But it's something we want to take a look at. And what we do for our clients is we run tax mapping reports and analysis to see, okay, where are you in the tax bracket? Is there any room to do strategic tax planning? Is there any room at all right now to lower and mitigate tax? Because January 1st of 2026, we're going back to the old tax plan and tax code. So we do have 3 or 4 years here to really take a serious look and find ways to lower and mitigate tax if we can do that.
So for someone that might be in that paralysis mode, not sure what to do, you're talking about the dates for when things will change. Why is it so important not to be passive but active with your tax planning?
You know, there's a lot we can't control right now. You know, whoever the president is and inflation and the war in Europe and things like that. But there is a lot we can control and we want to take action. We want to be proactive. A couple things that we can control is the amount of risk we're taking on in our investments and taxes to an extent. We can look at our own situations and find out where we are in the tax brackets to see if we can do some strategic tax planning and lower that tax bill as much as possible.
What's the first step you should take if you want to make sure you're in that lower tax bracket during your retirement years?
Well, you want to have a comprehensive plan, and a comprehensive plan is not just your investments, right? Your investments, you have your IRAs, 401ks, TSPs. A comprehensive retirement plan looks at taxes, looks at healthcare, looks at an emergency fund. These different buckets that we need to prepare for. That way we can make sure if we live into our 90s, everything is taken care of, we don't run out of money, and we don't pay any more tax than we need to.
How critical is it to have all of these pieces that you just mentioned working together?
It's absolutely critical. Look, most people have a growth plan. That's your investments, right? But most people that come to meet with us realize that, okay, I've got $1 million, $2 million, $3 million saved. I've gotten to retirement. Now I need help getting through retirement and addressing all the risks like higher taxes potentially, like inflation, like market volatility that can really blow up a great savings plan.
Really great information, which means the time to act is now.
Yeah, absolutely. Today, exclusively for our viewers, Abe has a great offer for you right now for the first 5 callers with a portfolio of $500,000 or more. He's offering a complimentary roadmap for retirement just for you. This will allow Abe and his team to sit down with you personally and provide you with a plan, analyzing where you are right now and discuss your best steps to really get ready for a successful retirement. The number to call, 571-520-5959. That's 571 520-5959.
Today we're breaking down the retirement planning process. Abe, a lot of your clients do have significant wealth. Let's talk about how having a plan is helpful when it comes to truly maximizing that wealth.
It's crucial. Look, a lot of people in the DC area, Mallory, are asset rich, income poor, meaning a lot of people in the DC area have done a significant job of saving a lot of money for retirement, right? They've done a good job in getting to retirement. What a lot of people need help with is getting through retirement. Really, that's that phase 2 retirement plan. So, you know, if you go to a new restaurant or a new place, you're going to put in GPS in your car, right? How then do we not have GPS, and how then do we not have a roadmap for the next 30 to 40 years of our lives? We need one really desperately.
So all of that being said, what do you believe a successful retirement plan really includes? A
successful retirement plan should include really everything. It's comprehensive, not just your investments, right? If you think you have an investment plan and you have a TSP, a 401k, or an IRA, you have money, right? You have assets, and hopefully the markets are treating you well. However, you probably haven't tackled healthcare, inflation, taxes, estate planning, insurance planning, long-term care, all of these things that can really affect a great savings plan in retirement. And that's why so many people come to meet with us, is because they have enough money saved. They've won the game in terms of having saved enough, and they're concerned about having another 2008. They're concerned about taxes going up. They're concerned about high inflation, and they're concerned about all the risks that can mess up a great savings plan.
Abe, we were just talking about it a little bit off camera, but we're both at this point old enough to know that in life the unexpected unfortunately does happen. How do you make sure you plan for those expenses that you really didn't see coming?
So Mallory, we typically like to teach our clients to have different buckets of money, right? So we want an emergency bucket, because emergencies and things will happen in retirement. The roof will need to be replaced. You'll need a new car. The water heater will bust and you'll need a new water heater. But then we want to have an income bucket, because sometimes people say, you know, Abe, I don't care if the last check bounces when I pass away. I want to spend this money down. I've worked for 40 to 50 years to get here, and I want to enjoy my money. So we want an income bucket, an emergency bucket, a growth bucket if we actually do live into our 90s, which so many people will, and then a lot of people, you know, passing money on to their kids or grandkids. That legacy bucket can be very important as well.
We're going to talk about Wall Street a little bit more later in the show, but for the time being, let's talk about why it's so important to really be dialed in on how much risk you're taking on when you do get close to retirement.
Extremely important. Look, most people have done a good job getting to retirement. They're at the top of their own retirement mountain, but then they realize they're 58, they're 62, they're 68, they're 70 years old. They have $1 million, $500,000, $2 million, $3 million or more sometimes in this DC metro area, and they realize they saved enough, but they don't want to be another 2008 statistic. They can't afford to lose 20, 30, 40% of their money right at the point of retirement, right as their paychecks stop, and they need income from their portfolio. They just don't have the time anymore to recoup those losses.
How often do you find you meet with someone for the first time and you realize very quickly their portfolio just does not match their age and stage?
Almost all the time. So, and that's a big reason why people come in to meet with us, Mallory, is because they realize they're still invested as if they were 40 years old. They're still invested as if they were 50 years old, but now they're 60, 65, 70. The clock is ticking. They're almost there. They're right at the finish line. They realize they've done a good enough job and they don't want to mess it up. So they realize, hey, I can't invest, I can't and should not invest like I did 20 years ago. I don't have the time. I'm not 45 years old anymore. I want to really secure everything I've worked so hard to build.
Abe, always great information. Thank you so much for your guidance. And coming up on Retirement Key TV, we'll discuss the ups and downs of the stock market in greater detail. And up next in 15 in 15, David will put Abe on the clock.
You know, traveling, spending time with the grandkids, we want to plan. We really want to think through what we want to do in the next 30 to 40 years. That's a lifestyle plan and a bucket list.
But first, today, exclusively for our viewers, Abe has a great offer for you. Right now, for the first 5 callers with $500,000 or more saved for retirement, he's offering a complimentary roadmap for retirement just for you. This will allow Abe and his team to sit down with you personally and provide you with a plan analyzing where you are right now and discuss your best steps to really get ready for a successful retirement. The number to call right now, 571-520-5959. Once again, that number, 571-520-5959.
The clock is ticking towards your retirement, so that brings us to 15 and 15. 15 topics in 15 seconds for Abe. You ready to dive in?
Ready, let's do it.
All right, let's get that clock rolling. Question number one, how much money will you need to retire? According to a survey, more Americans than ever believe the magic number is $1 million. So Abe, is that the magic number?
It depends. It depends on how much income you need, David, every month. You know, for some people it's actually less than $1 million, and for a lot of people it's actually more than $1 million. So I would say it just depends on how much income you need every month.
So based on your answer right there, you would say do not chase a magic number.
That's right. You need the magic number for yourself, and everybody's number is different.
Understood. Need a plan for you, not your neighbor. Question number two, it's understandable to have some concerns, perhaps even some fears when it comes to using our savings in retirement. But what can people do to spend with confidence?
Create a retirement income plan. We need to test the math. We need to have a roadmap, right? We need GPS for this next 30 to 40 years of our lives, so we have something to follow.
Yeah, get to and through retirement. Question number three, what if I told you 45% of people who do not have an advisor believe the typical cost for one is between 5 and 15% of their assets? Is that number in line?
No, nowhere near 5 to 15%. Typically, you know, the average financial advisor is going to charge David 1%, 1.5%. Oftentimes it's less than 1%.
Wow.
And, you know, we provide a ton of value, a comprehensive plan, ongoing service, 90-day quarterly reviews to make sure the plan's keeping up with their lives.
Okay, so say there is someone out there that's paying 5 to 15%, your advice to them?
Get in the car and drive away as fast as you can. That's highway robbery. You got to have a second opinion on that.
Pedal to the metal. You heard it here first. Question number four, let's do some taxes. A recent survey found that over 30% of every dollar a retiree spends goes to pay taxes. Abe, are we really looking at nearly a third of our money going to Uncle Sam?
Potentially, you know, at least 20 to 25%, maybe 30% or more. I mean, we're in the lowest tax environment that we've had in the last 40 years. Taxes used to be way higher than they are today. Taxes are on sale. We got to pay attention and try to lower and mitigate tax as much as we possibly can.
Let's keep hidden taxes right now. When it comes to income taxes, is it possible to receive retirement income from our life savings without having to pay income taxes?
Look, David, you either pay taxes up front or you pay them later. You can't avoid tax, right?
Yeah,
That's jail time. But yes, absolutely. We just need a tax plan. We need a tax strategy, and absolutely you can create income in retirement that is free of tax. Roth IRA is a great example.
So you're talking about a zero tax bracket?
You could be, potentially. You got to have a plan.
Okay.
Got to have a tax plan.
I like what you're talking about right there. The potential for zero and the potential to not go to jail. We don't want jail time in retirement. Right. Question number six. Obviously, as we approach retirement, our thinking can change. So Abe, is it more important to focus on growth or protecting our savings?
Both, right? We might have enough money saved, but now we need to protect it and preserve it as we head into retirement. Why? Because our working paychecks will stop, and we need to generate paychecks from our retirement and make sure those paychecks last the rest of our lives.
And you really believe something like this can help us potentially maximize our retirement?
I do, David. You just need a comprehensive plan that addresses everything you possibly can, growth and income, taxes, inflation, all of it.
Some solid advice. Question number seven, who doesn't love guaranteed money? Annuities are an investment that can do that for your income. But Abe, why do you feel so many people are hesitant to buy an annuity?
The A word.
The A word.
You gotta watch out. Well, look, nothing's perfect in the investment world, right, David? Annuities certainly aren't perfect. Neither are stocks, bonds, real estate, crypto, whatever you have, right? But in a comprehensive plan, an annuity may or may not be the right fit. You gotta take a look, right? It's a tool. It's not perfect. If you need income, if you want protection in your retirement, it could be a tool and something to look at in a comprehensive plan.
Would you say annuities have come a long way since yesteryear?
They have, especially in the last 3 to 5 years. Again, they're not perfect. Everything has restraints and limitations, but sometimes we do need to take a look to see how they can help a retiree in retirement.
Yeah, you want to be dialed in, do your homework. Great news. Awesome information. We're pausing the clock right now. More to come on 15 and 15, but first, today exclusively for our viewers, Abe has a great offer for you. Right now, for the first 5 callers with a portfolio of $500,000 or greater, he's offering a complimentary roadmap for retirement just for you. This will allow Abe and his team to sit down with you personally and provide you with a plan, analyzing where you are right now and discuss your best steps to really get ready for a successful retirement. The number to dial, 571-520-5959. That's 571-520-5959. All right, back on the clock we go. Topic number 8 of 15 and 15. We've worked decades to get to retirement. We want to see the world, travel, spoil our grandkids. So, Abe, what do we have to do in order to maximize our lifestyle in retirement?
We need a lifestyle plan. We need a bucket list, even heading into retirement. What are all these things that you want to do? You know, whether it's, traveling, spending time with the grandkids. We want to plan. We really want to think through what we want to do in the next 30 to 40 years. So that's a lifestyle plan and a bucket list. I'd encourage you to really dream big and think big and do everything you want to do in retirement.
Sign me up right now. Not near retirement, but sign me up for what you're speaking about. Question number 9, fees. I've heard them compared to termites just eating away at your portfolio.
Yeah.
What can fees realistically do to one's retirement if they're unaware of what they're paying?
Just that. They can eat away at your retirement like termites, right, into the foundation of a home, and we don't want that. So we need to look at how much we're paying an advisor. Is it reasonable? Is it too high? We also need to look at the fund expenses and costs of the actual funds we're invested in. Oftentimes, those are way too high. Oftentimes, people have mutual funds that they held 20 to 30 years ago. Are those really the investments you want to continue to be holding at this point in your life? Maybe, maybe not, but we got to take a look at the costs and the fees associated with your plan.
Yeah, absolutely. Get dialed in on those. Question number 10, 401ks. Lots of people have them. Lots of people are going to rely on them for income in retirement. But Abe, how common is it for parts of someone's 401k to be underperforming?
Often, David.
Really?
We call them lazy couch potato funds, right? Those are those life cycle target date funds. You know, the 2020, 2030.
Yeah.
A lot of dead money in those funds oftentimes. Lazy couch potato funds, we can't have those in our retirement plan. We need to make sure the funds, the investments, the overall plan we have is best suited for us for this next phase of our life.
Yeah, lazy couch potato funds. Get out of here. Not coming with me on vacation to retirement. Question number 11, once upon a time, pensions were standard. You collected Social Security and a few mutual funds and bonds carried you to retirement. But Abe, how have the rules of retirement planning changed?
That three-legged stool, David, now they're reversed, right? Now we have very little pension or no pension. Social Security, let's hope we have it,
Yeah.
right? And then our savings, right? That's what we're depending on. So if we're depending on ourselves to have saved enough for retirement, we better be proactive. We better be controlling what we can. We better have a comprehensive plan to try to address all the things that can mess up a great investment plan in retirement.
We've discussed that being ready for retirement is both a mental and a financial question. So Abe, how often do people know if they're really ready to retire?
Most of the time, David, people that are coming in to see us, they know.
Okay.
They're telling me and my team, hey, Abe and the team, I'm getting tired,
Yeah.
right? Or I just don't like my boss anymore, my coworkers are anymore. I'm not enjoying the work that I'm doing anymore. I'm not fulfilled. So they know. And then usually within 6 months, a year, 2 years, they're retiring, they're pulling the trigger, and they're off into the sunset in retirement.
That's what you've worked for. Question number 13, focusing in on long-term care. What can people do to prepare for that without having to buy some huge insurance policy?
Yeah, oftentimes, David, people can self-insure, right? Typically, if you have more than $1 million saved for your retirement, you can self-insure, which means maybe taking a chunk of your money and setting it aside for health care. Sometimes long-term care insurance makes sense. Sometimes a hybrid plan makes sense. Sometimes a combination of those options makes sense. But we got to address health care. Health care can be also one of our biggest expenses in retirement.
Yeah, combined with taxes, that can absolutely change the game for a retirement plan. Question number 14, there are always going to be strategies that people can use to plan for retirement. Lots of advisors believe in lots of things. So do you believe buy and hold is still a solid retirement strategy?
No, not at this point in your life, right? You are now 60, 65, 70. What you held for the last 20 to 30 years is probably not going to be appropriate for phase 2 for retirement. When you were working, when you were maxing out your account, you could take on a lot of risk, right? But now that we're coming down our own retirement mountain and our working paychecks have stopped, we've got to make sure this money lasts. We've got to make sure we're not taking on any extra risk than necessary.
Yeah, there's certainly new school strategies when it comes to retirement planning. Final question of 15 and 15. This one has gained a lot of steam. Cryptocurrency. What is your advice for a retiree that says, I want to put a bunch of my money into this stuff?
David, I would tell you it's still highly speculative. Couple percent of your portfolio maybe. If you want to dabble, if you want to diversify a little bit, I can tell you our clients have very little to zero in crypto. If you have anything in crypto personally, I would think you better be ready to lose it all and just kind of have that attitude. And who knows, maybe down the road it'll work out, but you don't want a large portion of your life savings in something speculative like that.
So essentially some fun money, if you will. Okay.
Gambling money, right?
Gambling money right there. Okay, great news. We are off the clock. 15 and 15 is in the books. Incredible information, my friend. Great job. We're going to get you hydrated for the rest of the show. But until then, today exclusively for our viewers, Abe has a great offer. Right now, for the first 5 callers with $500,000 or more saved for retirement, he's offering a complimentary roadmap for retirement just for you. This will allow Abe and his team to sit down with you personally and provide you with a plan, analyzing where you are right now and discuss your best steps to really get ready for a successful retirement. The number to call, 571-520-5959. That number, 571-520-5959.
And we're taking a trip back to 2008 for a moment from a market volatility standpoint. Abe, you've been doing this for a very long time, 2 decades, as a matter of fact. My question is this: we should have learned from this period of time, have we?
We should have, and I sure hope so, Mallory.
Yeah.
You probably remember the lost decade, right? That's that period of time from 2000 to the year 2012 in the S&P. Looks pretty flat, doesn't it? It was called the lost decade because during the tech bubble, 3 down years in a row, we lost like 46% in the S&P 500. Then we come all the way back up to 2008, and the average American recoups their losses from the tech bubble, and then every American knows what happened in 2008. The average American lost 35 to 40%, and it took all the way until 2012 to 2013, 12 to 13 years of basically a flat period of time in the S&P 500. 3 or 4 years there from 2008 to recoup losses. We can't afford to lose a decade's worth of returns in retirement.
Let me ask you this. When people walk into your office, at times do you find they are hesitant to make a move? I just want to stay in a little bit longer. How hard is it to convince people it's time to go?
Yeah, absolutely, and we see what's happened since 2008. I mean, look, we hit this peak there January 1st of 2022, and now, you know, the markets have fallen off this year. Unfortunately, some people can be paralyzed by fear. They can feel like, you know, Mallory, Abe, and the team, I've lost 15, 20% already. Should I be making a move at this time? But I would always say, for the most part, unless you're down 40 or 50%, and it's that bad, you can always take action. You can always take control. You can be proactive. You should, because there is a lot we can control. And one of those biggest things in retirement that we can control is the amount of risk we take, Mallory, on our retirement.
Okay, so speaking of which, how often do you find somebody walks into your office for a first appointment, a first meeting? You see very quickly that portfolio does not match their stage in life.
9 out of 10 times, Mallory. 9 out of 10 times people are still invested as if they were 40, 45, and 50, right? But our clients are all 55 to 75, sometimes even 80 years old. They're at the point of their own retirement. They're ready to descend down their own retirement mountain. Their working paychecks are going to stop, and they're going to have to rely on paychecks from the retirement in their investment portfolios.
Sure.
If we have 20, 30, 40% drop headed into retirement, it could be devastating. It could cause us to go back to work. We don't want to do that.
None of us has a crystal ball. We don't know exactly what's going to happen next. What do you need to be uniquely aware of if you are in retirement or approaching retirement right now?
Well, we need to have a plan, Mallory. We need to have a retirement income plan, a comprehensive, holistic retirement plan that really addresses all the risks that can foul up, mess up a great savings plan. Here in the DC area, most people have saved enough, right? $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. Most people have done a good enough job. The issues that they're concerned with and that we as a team are concerned with, what's going to potentially mess up 40 to 50 years of work? Well, that could be market volatility, right? We certainly don't want a -30 or -40. Higher taxes, higher inflation, a health care event, not having a proper estate plan done. All of these things we want to address in a comprehensive, holistic retirement plan so we can control what we can, be proactive, and live the retirement of our dreams.
Abe, always a pleasure. Great information as always, which means the time to act is now.
It is.
Right now, exclusively for our viewers at home, Abe has a great offer for you. For the first 5 callers with a portfolio of $500,000 or more saved for retirement, he's offering a complimentary roadmap for retirement just for you. This will allow Abe and his team to sit down with you personally and provide you with a plan analyzing where you are right now and discuss your best steps to really get ready for a successful retirement. The number to call right now, 571-520-5959. Once again, that number, 571-520-5959.
Before we go today, let's recap.
Absolutely. When it comes to planning a successful retirement, taxes matter.
Absolutely, Mallory. Tax planning is critical. We got to find ways to lower and mitigate tax as much as possible. It'll probably be our biggest expense in retirement.
Sure.
Abe, how have you seen tax planning really make a difference for retirees with their income needs?
Well, with their income needs, David, if you have all your money in a TSP, 401k, or IRA, you've never paid taxes on $1 million, $2 million, and then taxes go up on us, and we don't plan for them, we could be looking at thousands, 10,000s, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars lost instead of being in our pockets, more going to the government. We want more money in our pockets, don't we?
Yeah.
In terms of risk and protection, what should our takeaway be today?
Avoid large loss.
Okay.
I personally think, our team thinks, one of the biggest things a retiree can do to secure their retirement is to avoid large loss. What is that? -20 or more.
But at the same time, we're looking for opportunities to grow.
Absolutely. Growth and income. Look, we could live into our 90s, so we want to protect, preserve, but also make sure our money lasts us the next 30 to 40 years as well.
Yeah. In terms of lifestyle, if all of this, everything we've talked about today works together, what can lifestyle potentially look like in retirement?
Mallory, everything we want in retirement, right? Think about all the things you would want to do in retirement, whether it's spending time with your grandkids, it's traveling, it's the bucket list, right?
Yeah.
That the places we've never been that we want to go and see, spending time with the grandkids, you know, your hobbies, whatever you want to do. You know, a comprehensive, holistic retirement plan that's suitable for you can be exactly what you need to have the retirement of your dreams.
Sure.
It goes without saying, there's obviously been some turbulence going on all around people of all ages and sizes, but for retirees right now, they're seeing this market volatility. They're having to look at inflation. What's your advice to someone that might be timid to make a move, or I hate to say it, paralyzed out of fear to make a move?
Yeah, David, don't be paralyzed by fear. Look, there's a lot, like you just said, that we can't control. Whoever the president is, or inflation, or wars going on, and this and that. But there is a lot we can control. One of those is our financial future, our retirement. And in terms of what we can control how much risk we take. We can control taxes in our own retirement to a large degree. We can control having a comprehensive, holistic retirement plan that is suitable in our best interest for our lives. So I would encourage listeners and viewers right now to take action, be proactive, and control what you can.
Let me ask you this, though, psychologically speaking, for somebody who just wants to sit tight and ride it out and hope for the best, hope is not a strategy, how hard is it to convince someone it's time to make a move?
You know, I would say, Mallory, when things are volatile, when we're in an environment like we are now, with the market being so volatile and so much uncertainty in the world, people are very much more open-minded to hearing advice and to hearing opinions. And I would just continue to encourage that to our viewers and listeners, is just be proactive, be open-minded, because there are plenty of strategies out there. You don't have to be like your neighbor, where your neighbor's down 30% in the market. You could have a different plan for you, a plan that works for you, where you can have added peace of mind and comfort and confidence heading into retirement.
You're saying fight back.
That's right. Conquer your own retirement plan. You can do it.
And Abe, all of this being said today, you have something very special for our viewers watching at home.
I do. For the first 5 callers that have saved $500,000 or more for their retirement, I'd like to invite you to give us a call, and our team will personally help you put together your own roadmap for retirement. And Mallory, David, will do this on a complimentary basis.
That really is an opportunity that should not be missed. Once again, exclusively for our viewers, Abe is offering the first 5 callers with $500,000 or more saved for retirement, a complimentary roadmap for retirement.
This will allow Abe and his team to sit down with you personally and provide you with a plan, analyzing where you are right now, and then discuss your best steps to really get ready for a successful retirement. It is a game plan to get you where you need to be. The number to call right now, 571-520-5959. That number, it's 571-520-5959. For all of us at Retirement Key TV, thank you so much for watching.
We'll see you back here next time.